The Suppression of Opposition. In the kingdom of Governmentia, Zoran the Dragon had seen many leaders rise to power, often using tactics to suppress opposition and silence dissenting voices. This chapter explores how such actions echo through history and the consequences they bring. Silencing dissent in Nazi Germany. In the dark days of the 1930s, Zoran began, his voice resonating through the ancient halls. A shadow fell over Germany. The fascist regime, led by Adolf Hitler, sought to consolidate power by silencing those who dared to oppose them. The Nazi regime employed brutal tactics to suppress dissent. Political opponents, journalists, and activists were arrested, imprisoned, or executed. The infamous Night of the Long Knives in 1934 saw the purging of the regime's own ranks to eliminate perceived threats. The press was tightly controlled, and propaganda was used to stifle free speech and maintain the regime's narrative. Fear permeated society, and silence became a survival strategy for many. Attacks on protests, free speech, and political opponents today. As Zoran surveyed the present-day realm, he observed unsettling parallels. In modern times, he noted, the suppression of opposition continues, albeit through more sophisticated means. President Trump's administration, with the support of Elon Musk and Doge, has faced criticism for actions perceived as attacks on free speech and political opposition. Protests have been met with heavy-handed responses, including the deployment of federal forces and the use of tear gas and rubber bullets. Journalists and media organizations critical of the administration have been labeled as enemies of the people, fostering a climate of hostility towards the press. The rise of social media has also introduced new challenges. Platforms that once promised free expression struggle with the spread of misinformation, hate speech, and coordinated attacks on dissenting voices. Algorithms often amplify divisive content, creating echo chambers that reinforce biases and discourage open dialogue. Why do we stay silent when others are silenced? Zoran pondered, his eyes reflecting the depth of his contemplation. Zoran's dialogue. Why do we stay silent when others are silenced? As Zoran pondered the state of the realm, he often engaged in contemplative dialogue with the scholars who sought his wisdom. Why do we stay silent when others are silenced? He would ask, his voice tinged with both curiosity and sorrow. Silence, he explained, can be a shield, a means of self-preservation in the face of tyranny. Yet, it is also a weapon of oppression, wielded by those who seek to crush dissent. When we remain silent in the face of injustice, we become complicit in the erosion of our own freedoms. Zoran's words served as a powerful reminder of the importance of speaking out against oppression. He urged the people of Governmentia to find their voices, to stand in solidarity with those who are marginalized, and to defend the principles of democracy and free expression. The role of youth and education. In the heart of Governmentia, Zoran the Dragon observed the vital role of education in shaping the future of the realm. He had seen how the minds of the young could be molded, either towards enlightenment or manipulation. This chapter explores the historical and modern implications of youth education and the importance of fostering critical thinking, Hitler Youth and indoctrination in schools. In the dark era of the 1930s, Zoran began, his voice echoing through the ancient halls. A sinister organization known as the Hitler Youth emerged in Germany. Its purpose was to indoctrinate the young, instilling in them the ideals of the fascist regime and preparing them to become its loyal followers. The Hitler Youth was a paramilitary organization that targeted children and adolescents, teaching them Nazi ideology and loyalty to Adolf Hitler. Education in schools was heavily influenced by this doctrine, with textbooks and curricula designed to glorify the regime and demonize its enemies. Critical thinking was discouraged, replaced by blind obedience and unwavering support for the Führer. The regime understood that by controlling the minds of the young, they could secure their power for generations to come. The Hitler Youth instilled a sense of purpose and belonging in its members, but it also fostered hatred and intolerance, leading to devastating consequences for society. Modern education and the importance of critical thinking. As Zoran surveyed the present-day realm, he saw the challenges and opportunities presented by modern education. In these times, he observed, the power of education remains as potent as ever, but its direction depends on the values we instill in our youth. In the era of President Trump and Elon Musk, education systems face pressures from various political and ideological forces. Some sought to impose their narratives on students, while others championed the importance of critical thinking and independent inquiry. The rise of misinformation and fake news made it more crucial than ever for young minds to develop the ability to question, analyze, and discern truth from falsehood. Education, Zoran reflected, is the bedrock of a just and enlightened society. It must go beyond rote learning and propaganda, nurturing the curiosity and critical thinking skills of the next generation. Modern educators and policymakers grappled with the need to balance diverse viewpoints, while ensuring that students were equipped with the tools to navigate a complex and often contradictory world. The promotion of media literacy, scientific inquiry, and historical awareness became essential components of a robust education system. Zoran's dialogue. Why is it important to ask questions? As Zoran pondered the state of the realm, he often engaged in contemplative dialogue with the young minds who sought his wisdom. Why is it important to ask questions? He would ask, his eyes reflecting the depths of his understanding. Questions, he explained, are the sparks that ignite the flame of knowledge. They challenge assumptions, uncover hidden truths, and drive the pursuit of wisdom. In a world where many seek to control the narrative, asking questions is an act of defiance and empowerment. Zoran's words served as a powerful reminder of the importance of fostering a spirit of inquiry and critical thinking in the youth. He urged the people of Governmentia to support educational initiatives that encouraged curiosity, dialogue, and the fearless pursuit of truth. The path to authoritarianism. In the kingdom of Governmentia, Zoran the Dragon had seen the rise of many rulers, some with noble intentions and others with a thirst for power. This chapter delves into the swift rise of fascism in the 1930s and the warning signs of authoritarianism that echo through modern politics. How fascism took hold in 45 days. In the dark days of the 1930s, Zoran began, his voice heavy with the weight of history, Germany, reeling from economic hardship and societal unrest, found itself vulnerable to the allure of a strong man who promised swift and decisive action. In just 45 days, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi regime transformed the nation into an authoritarian state. The rapid rise of fascism in Germany was marked by a series of calculated moves. Following the Reichstag fire in February 1933, Hitler used the crisis to push through the Reichstag fire decree, which suspended civil liberties and allowed for the arrest of political opponents. This was followed by the Enabling Act, granting Hitler dictatorial powers. In a matter of weeks, the democratic institutions of Germany were dismantled, and the Nazi regime cemented its control over the nation. Warning signs of authoritarianism in modern politics. As Zoran surveyed the present-day realm, he saw unsettling parallels. The march towards authoritarianism, he observed, is rarely marked by a single, dramatic event. Instead, it unfolds through a series of seemingly incremental steps that, taken together, erode the foundations of democracy. President Trump's administration, with the support of Elon Musk and DOGE, exhibited several warning signs of authoritarianism. Attacks on the judiciary, efforts to undermine the independence of the courts, discredit judges, and bypass legal constraints, suppressing the press, labeling critical media as fake news, fostering a climate of hostility towards journalists, and restricting access to information, eroding civil liberties, implementing policies that curtail freedoms, such as increased surveillance, restrictions on protests, and limitations on voting rights, cult of personality, promoting a leader's image as infallible and beyond reproach, fostering loyalty through charisma and populism, exploiting crises, using emergencies and fear to justify extreme measures and consolidate power. In the digital age, Zoran mused, the tools of control have evolved, but the underlying tactics remain strikingly similar. Vigilance and awareness are our greatest defenses against the encroachment of authoritarianism. Zoran's dialogue. How can we stop history from repeating itself? As Zoran pondered the state of the realm, he often engaged in contemplative dialogue with the scholars who sought his wisdom. How can we stop history from repeating itself? He would ask, his eyes reflecting the depth of his contemplation. The key, he explained, lies in recognizing the warning signs and acting upon them. We must cherish and defend our democratic institutions, uphold the rule of law, and promote transparency and accountability. Education and critical thinking are our shields against the manipulation of fear and misinformation. Zoran's words served as a powerful reminder of the importance of learning from history. He urged the people of Governmentia to remain vigilant, to question authority, and to stand united in their commitment to democracy and freedom.